So we bend your knees, take your legs a little bit wider, and we're gonna do deep belly breath. So that means breathing in through your nose, deep into your belly, into the diaphragm, so the lower muscles, primary breathing muscles, and then again, breathing out through your nose. We add some movement to it, more of like a Tai Chi style. So as you inhale, draw the hands up to your shoulders. And as you exhale, draw the hands down and release every ounce of air before taking that next inhale. And you should feel just gentle energy pushing up and down between the fingers. And then feel the belly expands and release. This is called base breathing. Keep the knees bent to get the legs strong. We'll take one more deep breath. And as you exhale, take the hands next to the side of your body. And draw your chin down to your chest. And rock your head side to side. Just take some neck rotations. So you can do half circles or full rotations if that's comfortable. So our movements that we're doing for these morning movements is going to be a full body stretch, like I said, but we start from our head and work our way down to our toes. We start with our neck, and then take your head back up, look over your right shoulder, and then look over the left shoulder. Do some shoulder rolls, shoulder shrugs. And shoulders forward. Good. Now we head down towards the shoulders, actual shoulders. So we did neck, shoulders, then we do rotations in the arms. So you make a fist, and I like to do both hands at the same time, close to your body, big circles. So we start slow, and notice there's gonna be some crunching and catching with the arms. In time, those do work themselves out. We're taking our arms flat to our body and rotating. And then after a few, we switch directions. You can already feel the upper back and the shoulders getting looser. Just simple movements, and it's a little bit every day that helps. Okay, bring your hands down, do a little shake out, blah, 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 blah. Keep the knees bent, heading into side bends. So moving to the sides of our bodies, open the arms, and then push one hand down as the other hand comes over and across. So really pressing, deep breath in through your nose, exhale, push. Inhale up, exhale, press. So this is really, it's not the yoga in the traditional way, but movement is going to help you get stronger to be able to do some of the other yoga poses and maybe holding a little bit longer. So the simple movements helping your breath connect with movements as well, which a lot of classes, as you exhale, you engage and press. As you inhale, you lengthen and lift. Just getting used to that pattern. And we do one more. And then take your hands up and to your side. Keep your knees bent. We'll take the hands on your waist or your hips, heading into our waist, getting our core strength and core moving. Take the hands just off the waist and draw the elbows and the shoulders back and forward like a little hummingbird. You're keeping your hips stationary and shoulders and elbows are the only thing moving to twist through your body. Gaze stays forward too. And again, you might hear some cracks and some kinks. And you might be going slower at first. Then you get used to it and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go faster. And if you just ate, that's probably not a good thing. So try to do this before you eat so you don't feel any side aches or uncomfort when you're doing some twists. Okay, from there, I'm gonna take your legs a little wider. Open the arms, flex palms, side bend. side lunge. And go side to side. I like the blocking arms, I just think they look cool. But moving side to side in the side lunge, getting into the inner thighs. And you could also take your hands onto your thighs to start. Move back and forth. So we're almost complete because we're heading into our legs. Side to side. Pretty simple. Simple movements go a long way if done consistently. You don't need anything crazy or creative flows or anything. It's just simple movement. And that's what I base my practice off of, is simple movement done every day. Step your feet together. Good. Now deeper into the legs, heading into some kicks. One foot steps back, your arms just hang out by their side. Draw your knee up first. So not only are you working balance when you lift the leg, but your core strength, because you exhale to the top. And then, when you get comfortable, you straighten the leg, look up, and you find some hamstring flexibility. And these are a lot of times what really wake people up, is these high kicks. You get to this point and you're like, I don't even need my coffee anymore, I got high kicks. And then switch sides. Start with your knee, because you're not as loose on this side quite yet. Then head to high kicks. Good, and one more move before we come down for a quick little meditation, and that's getting a little deeper into the hips. So turn to the side a little from where you are. Take your front leg around. So we're just doing crescent knees. So it's making that crescent shape, keeping the knee lifted and around. It doesn't have to look pretty. You might be falling everywhere. It's okay. Just from the inside, internal to external movement. A lot of people have hip stuff going on, at least tightness. So we want to be able to warm it up and get this full range of motion in our hips so that, long term they feel pretty good. So you're not always requesting hip opening classes. When I ask, what would you like to do in class today? Please, hips. That is really one of the most requested types of classes. And it's great. I love doing hip opening classes. But, it'd be nice if we could actually get those hips open. So let's work on it. And, eventually this can turn into a crescent kick. But I'm good with the knees. I feel it. You feel it. We're good. Mountain pose. Stand up tall. Reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Open the arms. Diving down. Lengthen as you inhale. Step back to plank pose. From your knees or your toes, take a breath in, shift forward, look at the top of the mat. Exhale, tricep push-up, hug your rib cage, 90 degrees in the elbows. Up dog, inhale. Exhale, look down, press it back using core strength to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, step to the top of the mat. Half lift. Exhale, fold down low. Root through the feet, bend the knees, reach the arms out, rise up. Connect the hands and then take them to the sides of your body. Release. 3 more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive down. Lengthen, look forward. Step back, plank pose. High plank. Exhale to low plank, elbows bend. Flat body, up dog, press your heart forward. Exhale to downward facing dog. 1 deep breath. Walk your feet forward. Half lift. Forward fold. Inhale, look forward, rise up. Hands by your side. We've got 2 more. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Step back to plank. shift to high plank, meaning shift your shoulders over your fingertips so your shoulders don't go any lower than your elbows as you bend them. Up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Again, a deep breath in. And exhale out. Step your feet forward. Half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Nose towards the knees. Inhale, look forward, rising up. Bend the knees a little. Hands by your side. We're going to add a little added challenge to this one with some jump backs and jump forward. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. This is up to you. If you want to jump back, bend your knees, plant the hands, jump back to plank. High plank, shift forward, inhale. Exhale, low plank. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Exhale. A single deep breath. As you exhale, bend your knees, jump forward. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Look forward, bend the knees, rise up, circle those arms up, and hands by your side. So start in chair pose, arms circle up, bend the knees, reach up. Exhale, fold it down. Half lift, inhale. Step back to plank pose. Shift to high plank, shifting forward. Keep the shoulders protracted. Bend the elbows, chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left foot to the center, right leg lifts. Bend the knee, lift the left heel, draw it forward, step between the hands. Warrior one, back heel spins down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, step back to plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, low plank. So we're adding more vinyasa or more push-ups to this sequence. Downward facing dog, take your left leg up. Bend the knee, step between the hands. Back heel down. Rise up for warrior one. Hands to the ground. Step back, plank. Shift forward. Descend, exhale. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Are you warm yet? I'm getting pretty warm. This is meant to be that warm up. Bend your knees, step forward. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, sitting back into a chair pose. Reach those arms up. And release it, hands by your side. This next one, we're going to take out the leg lift. So using your core strength to step forward, okay? Okay, good. Let's do it. Okay, back to chair pose. Bend the knees, circle the arms up. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Half lift, inhale. Option to jump back as you exhale. High plank, shift forward. Exhale, low plank. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in first. Inhale, pressing the heels down. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Back heel to the floor. Warrior one, reach up. Exhale to the ground, step back. Pivot the left heel, take it up. Right foot steps back, shift forward, inhale. Exhale, low plank. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Press through the heels, take an inhale. Left foot steps forward, exhale. Back heel down. Warrior one. Hands to the ground, step back, plank, high plank, low plank. Inhale to up dog. Keep the abs engaged, exhale, round the back, pressing back to downward facing dog. Rest here for an extra breath. That's a lot of work. Bend your knees, look forward, step or jump forward. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Chair pose, sit back. Arms reach up. And release, standing tall. So we're going to start with our right leg forward and step your left leg back. Bring your hands to the floor into a low lunge. Palms on the ground. Good. This is our low lunge. So you're pressing through the back heel, lengthening the back leg. And anytime you're in a lunge with the back heel lifted, you could take the knee down. Anytime. I promise. Anytime. So you can modify it that way. Modifying and intensifying is not worse or better. It is not It's not good or bad, they're just different ways, and what you need might be a little bit different than anyone else. So take a few deep breaths in this low lunge. Notice how you feel. Get lighter in the fingertips, but your chest and thigh are still together. Then reach the arms up, so you're in a high lunge, high crescent lunge. Awesome. So everything stacked, shoulders underneath the hips. Feel this tilt a little bit, your pelvis tilt a little bit, so you're really feeling the front of the back leg, and your front leg's super strong. Crescent lunge. And I know you're already feeling it because I am. And if I'm feeling it, you're feeling it. Okay, hands come down, moving on to a balance pose. Bend the back leg, lift off to warrior three. The hands start behind or reaching back because it's just easier that way, simpler that way. So you can start with the toe on the ground and then head anywhere where the body is flat from the head to the back foot and the hip doesn't start to open. So you keep that left hip, whoops, rolling down, internally rotating to warrior three. Step back, bending that front knee, step back into a lunge. Reach up and spin the back heel down. We've done warrior one through our sun salutation, so we won't stay here long. So warrior one heads to warrior two. Open the arms. So your back heel for warrior two, because the hips are open, we can spread the legs wider. And then move that front foot more towards the middle, so we've got this straight line from front heel to back arch. Reach out long. And one thing I see people doing a lot is just looking around. We're going to find our focus right at the front of that front middle finger, like the tip of the middle finger, and just hold that gaze there. Bend deeper into that right knee, squeeze the legs together, and squeeze, zipper up your abs, your rib cage, and soften your shoulders. From warrior two, flip that front palm, reach up, reverse warrior. Don't change the legs, left hand down the back leg. And back to warrior two. Take your elbow to your thigh, right elbow down, bend deeper. Left arm extends either straight up or if it's extending forward, keeping that straight line from fingers to left heel, and your palm internally rotates towards the floor. Gaze goes up, looking at the elbow or the hand. Lift back up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. And our legs are a little wide here, so take that back foot, left foot, heel toed in. Hips more forward, shoulders to the side, open the arms, triangle pose. Reach way forward. Right hand comes down towards the foot or the floor. Left hand goes straight up. Keep pressing the upper body back in line with the legs. And what's stopping you from getting down is probably that left hamstring. So you can always stay up high. The sides of your waist, both of them are extending forward. Finding extension. So not a side bend. Kind of feels like a back bend and a twist. But it's none of those, so we're just extending through our spine and waist. Okay, here's a little challenge for you. Look down, bend the front knee, hop forward or walk forward, this time in open balance pose, half moon pose. So externally rotating left leg up high and right hand towards the floor. This can be up here, as long as your body's open, and really extend through your limbs. So don't get lazy with it, that's not cool. So we extend and reach, and actually engage your body. Okay, step back into a lunge, warrior two. Then hands cartwheel down to the floor, step back to downward facing dog. You feel the difference already from one side to the other. Good, you should. We're gonna get to the other side. So, walk your feet forward, then step your right foot back into a low lunge. And press those hips down. Fingertips on the ground. Good. From your low lunge, lift the arms up. You can crawl up, you can reach up. Crescent lunge. Gaze stays forward, shoulders stay soft. Back leg strong. Engage your abs. We've already done the core warm-ups, so we should feel strong in our midsection to keep us stable in this lunge. Your hands come down, sweep them forward, bend the back knee and lift off to warrior three. Straightening the legs as you lift the back leg. Keep all 5 toes of the right foot, the back foot down, pointing to the floor. Okay, step back into a lunge, very soft, gentle landing. Reach up, then open, well, for warrior one, back heel spins to the floor. Open to warrior two. Adjust so the back foot maybe is farther away from you. Squeezing the legs together and reach. Shoulder roll if your shoulders feel any tension. Bend a little deeper if you can. Usually we always can. Keep your gaze forward at the left hand. Left hand flips, reverse warrior. Right hand is soft down the back leg. You're reaching up high. Not trying to go into a crazy back bend. But reaching high and lengthening while keeping the legs low. Okay, back to warrior two. Take your elbow to your thigh. Light in the elbow, right arm straight up or reach it overhead. Palm facing the floor. Bend deeper into the left knee to get those hips down. Look up. We come back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, back foot comes in a foot or so. Reach way forward. Left hand down to the foot, floor, thigh, knee, doesn't matter. Right hand straight up. Then look up towards the right hand, pressing the upper body back. Okay, look down. Let's try that half moon balance pose. Left hand comes forward, bend the front knee, lift the back leg, open up wide like you're a star and you're vibrating through every area of your body. Think of like an explosion, except you're still. All right, step back into warrior two. Hands come down to the floor, step back to downward facing dog. Awesome job with our standing poses. Let's just walk our feet forward into a squat. So I'm gonna add on something just for fun. So you're in this low squat, just for fun, like I said. I'm gonna turn to the side. And squat might not be super comfortable, so you can stay upright a little bit. Working on crow pose, arm balance, because we can. We're all energized, ready to go, hips are open. Palms on the floor about shoulder distance. Lean forward, bending the elbows. Look way forward, that's the key, is looking forward. Lean forward. Knees on the elbows or triceps, lift your toes. And then try to hold that for a little while. If you want, you can place a pillow right by where your head would go if you think you're gonna land on your head. So place it more forward. So if you fall, it should be a forward nose dive rather than a head plant. And then play with that, use it as a little party trick. Those Bakasana or crow or crane pose, lots of different names. Usually you'll hear that as crow pose. This little lifted leg thing. That's all we have for standing poses today. Whew. In fact, give it a forward fold. That might be good. Shake out the legs a little bit. We're going to start on our hands and knees in a 4-point base position. So the hands will be directly under the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. From here, take your gaze right in front of the fingers. And then kind of feel the shoulders. They can collapse or protract. Like I said protract the shoulders I think yesterday. So that's pushing and rounding the back, which is really important for strength, but also cultivating that strength so we don't have a hunchback, but it's from a place of purpose. So from here we do cat and cow pose. Arch your back and look up. You can roll the shoulders back as you inhale. And then exhale, round your back to cat pose. And do that a few times, rounding and arching. Tilting your pelvis up and down. So this is more, it's core strength and spine flexibility. And that's like I said, our focus today. Okay, come to a neutral position. Our neutral position is not a collapsed shoulders, it's actually pressing into the hands, feeling that press, feeling wide fingers, and all the joints are stacked. Again, wrists and elbows, shoulders, knees and hips. So look at the top of your mat or right in front of the fingers. Take your right leg straight back, toes pointing towards the floor, and left arm forward. So working balance. Take a deep breath in as you lengthen the leg and arm. Exhale, round your back and pull your elbow and your knee together. Inhale as you extend. Use that core strength. Exhale everything out around the back. Inhale, extend. One more time, pull it in. Extend. And place your hand and your knee back down. Left leg back this time. Right arm forward. Like you're going to shake someone's hand. Reach forward, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw the elbow and the knee together. Inhale, extend. Now the opposite elbow has a little bend just to keep the tricep alive and your arm safe, shoulder safe. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull it in. Then extend, last one. And down. And you can stretch out the wrists. Let's just do that. Flip the hands, stretch the wrists out. Sit back. Because we will be on our hands for a little while. At least another movement or two. Flip the palms, sit back. Good, quick little shake out of the hands. And your hands and your arms will get used to it once you start building more strength. If you find that your hands are really sore, give it time. This is like any other muscle group, any other part of your body. It's going to take time to get stronger and effort. Consistency too. That's the key. Okay, back to your 4-point base. I'm going to have you walk your hands forward about a hand distance. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees and push back into downward facing dog. From down dog, we're getting into more spinal flexibility, of course. Look forward, shift forward, and come to a floating up dog. Hips descend, look forward. Then look down, round the back, and roll back to downward facing dog. Do that again. If you want to bend your elbows and slide through, cool, do it. Just keep the shoulders above the elbow height. Roll back. So we're going from down dog to floating up dog. Floating up dog because your toes are on the floor. We're not pointing our toes. And do 2 more. Make sure you're hugging your elbows in. It's keeping everything powerful, strong, and safe. Okay, shift forward to a plank pose. Come down to your knees. Take your elbows down. And then take your hands perpendicular to your mat, so your hands are touching your elbows. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. We roll to the side, open up to side plank on your forearms just to give our arms a break. Then take it down, switch sides, open to the other side, keep the hips up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up, side plank. Exhale down. We'll do 3 on each side. 2 more. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. Good. Knees down, sit back, child's pose. Roll yourself up so you're sitting on your heels and then bring your legs forward. This is called boat pose. It's core strengthening pose. Lean back about 45 degrees or so. So you're sitting on your tailbone and 2 sits bones, little tripod base for you. Lift your chest, draw the shoulders back, then lift the legs, squeezing the knees together. Reach forward and hold. Boat pose. From boat pose, we're going to go to a hover, also called boat and canoe pose, but I usually just call it a hover. So you lower down, not all the way, just so your legs are extended, hovering above the ground, everything hovering, but your butt's still on the floor. Then we lift back up. We do that 4 more times. Exhale down, inhale lift, exhale down, inhale lift. How's it feeling? Down? I feel it right here in the core. Exhale, inhale, lift. Exhale, feel the shakiness. It's a good thing. It's your body getting stronger. And inhale, lift. Good. Feet down, hug the knees, sit up tall. And then roll forward, stepping back to a plank pose. Knees down, lower to your belly. Take your forearms forward on the floor, palms down. Press into the hands, look forward, lift up. So you feel a nice stretch through your core. And lower down to your belly, all the way down. Reach the hands back, squeeze the legs together, and lift. And lower down. So we stay about 5 breaths or so. Take a little break. Getting deeper into our back bends now that our core is nice and strong. Do half bow pose. Bend the right knee, reach left hand forward. Right hand reaches back and finds the foot. Lift the knee, pressing the foot into the hand. Left hand rises, but the left foot stays on the ground. Then hug your right knee in and keep your body in that straight line. Lower back down. Switch sides. Right arm forward, bend the left knee, reach back, find the foot, press and lift. Lower back down, take a little break. Here, our last movement before saying goodbye for this day, for day 4, is full bow pose, or you can work the tight side. So choose either the tighter side, which you just worked, or reach back and find both feet. Toes together, knees still hip distance, look forward and lift, pressing the feet into the hands and the knees off the ground. Lower back down. Good, awesome, good job. I assume you're doing an awesome job. Press back to child's pose. So we counteract those back bends by sitting back, rounding the back, forehead to the floor. We're going to start in a seated pose. So you're going to come to your butt, extend your legs forward, and the first thing we'll start with is a simple forward fold. Legs extended forward, feet, heels press, energy and everything pressing through the heels so your toes are drawing back, knees pushing to the floor, and you should be able to sit up in this nice L position. After you get that L position, lean forward, starting with your lower belly, lower upper body, hinging forward, and then walking the hands forward. And you may or may not touch the feet, but think of moving your body forward before you bring it down. And you might use a strap or a towel or a belt or something around your feet if you've got, pretty tight hamstrings, and that's okay. The thing we're trying to do here is find sensation. And that's the same with any yoga pose, yoga practice, is to find the sensation and breathe into it. Sometimes you can wiggle side to side, creating more space in the back of the legs, and just hold it. Let's lift back up, moving to single leg or head to knee pose. We take right or left, it doesn't matter, we'll switch back and forth. So take one foot to your inner thigh, your leg's at about an 85-degree angle, so a little less than 90. Take a deep breath in, let's reach up this time, and then lean and fold directly over that straight leg. You might find that your hands actually go a little bit farther, so they might touch the toes in the single leg variation. Keep pressing the knee down, engaging your abs to pull yourself forward. And each pose we're holding for, about 5 breaths or so. I always think that's a good amount of time, as long as your breaths are deep. And then lift back up, switch sides. Take a deep breath in, reach up. Exhale, fold directly straight over that straight leg, directly over the straight leg. So we can sometimes get caught up in trying to lean in the center of our hips, where our hips are. Instead, we're walking over the straight leg and folding down. You're gonna feel a little bit more hip opening that way, also getting directly into that front leg hamstring. Okay, we lift it back up, and then take both feet together. Push yourself forward, and if you find that your knees are up really high, it might be a good idea to sit on a pillow or bolster or a block to get those knees down a little bit lower. So in this position, called bound angle pose, you're gonna grab your feet, open up the feet like you're reading a book, lift up tall on your spine, hug your elbows towards your ribcage, and press them into your thighs, leaning forward. There's a couple versions here. We can just lean forward, reaching our nose forward, or a little round in the back is okay in this pose. Just keep trying to draw the knees down by pushing the elbows into your legs. And we're not trying to get anywhere, so there's no strain in trying to get our nose down to the floor, just feeling especially in the hips. So we don't want any tension or tightness in the back, and that can sometimes come up. Bound angle pose. You can take your knees together. And I know we did this in the core section, but we'll do it again here. Lean back and find boat pose. Lift the legs up, reach your arms forward, and this one we're just going to take some deep breaths. No hovers, no crazy things. Boat pose. Modified boat pose would be toes on the floor. You're still leaning back 45 degrees or so and still lifting your heart, but your toes are on the ground. If you have any lower back pain or if you're pregnant, a great variation would be elbows on the ground and stay here. In fact, if you're pregnant, there are variations and modifications for a lot of poses. This is not the course that I'm going to go through pregnancy options. So that's something that you want to ask probably to a yoga teacher in person or ask your doctor. Okay, take your feet down about hip distance, hands behind your back, underneath the shoulders, lift your hips into a reverse tabletop. I really like this pose, so you drop your head back, look back, because it targets the opposite muscles from all of those tricep push-ups we do in the beginning of class. It opens up your heart, and opens up your shoulders, also strengthens the back of your body. You can lower back down. And heading to a relaxing supine position, take your toes to the top of the mat with your knees bent. Reach forward and slowly roll yourself down with your chin to your chest. When your shoulders touch down, hug your knees and rock side to side. Oops, excuse me. Rock side to side. Give yourself a little massage on the low back. And then take your feet down to the floor, keeping them hip distance. Knees bent a lot, heels close to your butt. Palms down next to your heels. Lift your hips, squeeze the shoulders together, heading into bridge pose. Keep pressing into the feet to lift higher. lower that one back down. And everything to the floor. Hug your right knee towards your chest, left leg extends, and we'll take a twist. The right leg goes across your body. You can even pick up that opposite hip to roll down. Open up the right arm and look towards the right hand. Keep the right shoulder, right hand, and right ear glued to the floor. You lift back up, hug your knee in close to you, and then switch. Left leg hugs in, close to your chest. Take the leg across your body, open up the left arm, left shoulder, left arm, left hand on the ground. And this should feel nice. It should feel like your spine is resetting into a neutral position. You're loosening up the back. And bring your legs back up to the top. We're going to keep this simple by taking the legs straight up and holding it there. So rest your hands by your side and allow just the legs to go straight up to feel that inversion. So we're circulating blood flow, helping all of our hormonal glands, the endocrine system with blood flow, basically massaging your body from bottom to top. If your hamstrings are really tight, again, a pillow or a block underneath your hips can help alleviate some of the tightness in the back of the legs and the lower back. If you are comfortable here in legs up the wall position, stay there. We're going to go into plow pose. So we're taking our legs way back, over the head, hands to your lower back for support. Your feet may or may not touch the floor. Then bend your knees around your ears. Release your hands, take them to the floor. Roll yourself down. Your knees are hugging in again. You can either grab the knees or grab your feet for what I like to call, and we call, happy baby pose. We roll around just like a happy baby. After you feel like your back is nice and massaged out and everything feels pretty good and restored, extend your legs forward, let your feet fall open, hands rest by your side, and relax. And so we'll be here for a few minutes. This is often called Shavasana, or really it's just relaxation. So allowing your body and mind to absorb your practice and be still. Much like meditation on day one is just a few minutes of focusing on your breath and focusing on how your body is feeling with no judgments, no labels, and just feeling good. So close your eyes, melt into the mat, and breathe.